Hello there. My name is Gus de Laufman, but please just call me Gus. And today I'm going to be reflecting on a few different things. But first, a bit about me. Who am I? Well, I'm 23. I'm studying a double degree of mining and engineering and finance. And I am out at the West Australian School of Mines in Kalgoorlie. I'm in my final year, actually, final weeks of study, which is pretty exciting. And so this presentation is designed to engage with you and explore the employability tool, my experience in this unit, my time across university, my career plan, and a bit of a message to my future self. So there's a lot of stuff to cover here. So we'll crack into the first bit. This is me in the red circles, hard to miss. And so we'll crack on with the employability tool and my reflection on it. So I sort of walked into this as pretty skeptical. I'm inherently a pretty skeptical guy when it comes to tools like this. I usually try and fly through the multi-choice questions and quickly, and certainly did when completing this tool in week one. And I usually don't take much notice of the results. I'll admit it, it's certainly one of my flaws. And I expected to learn very little from the results, but was taken back actually when the tool identified that my learning literacy is an area for improvement. I was blown away by the fact that despite my skepticism and flying through the questions, it was actually able to identify me and those qualities when competing the test for the first time. This meant that when I did the test for the second time, my learning literacy improved because I took the time and actually answered the questions properly. Looking at my employability tool overall, you can see at the bottom that I've improved in some cases, but there are still some areas that need improvement. As the overlaid figure shows, so the red is the first one in week 1 and the blue is week 12. I had a poorer learning mindset and teamwork competencies, but after the challenges encountered in this unit, I reckon I've improved my teamwork competencies and problem solving and decision making. I think it's the improvements come from being pushed outside of my comfort zone and the weekly activities and that encourage teamwork and communication. So I think I've grown in that regard. Moreover, my career mobility and self-awareness are also relatively low compared to my other attributes, indicating that I've definitely got some room for improvement there. But I was pleasantly surprised that I learned so much through this tool. Similarly, I also learned a lot throughout this unit. I don't think I necessarily have the same sort of in-depth notes to reflect on, but there are a couple of seminars that really stuck out for me. Seminar 4, the first Minecraft seminar, and Seminar 10, the one about unconscious bias, which pushed me in new and challenging ways, which I think is why they really stuck in my head. The Minecraft seminar, the first one, really pushed me because I had no experience in gaming and neither did the rest of our group. So as a result, we had to work and communicate together and sort of learn as a group and learn the controls of the game and the dynamics of how everything worked as we frantically tried to create our house. I sort of took a leadership role because my leadership, I think, is something that I'm good at and I really enjoy a lot, as you could see from the employability tool earlier. But I definitely felt underqualified leading since I knew so little about the program and the dynamics of the game. So that challenged me certainly emotionally and mentally, but I was really well supported by the group, and I think we did a great job together. Similarly, I also got challenged emotionally and mentally in the Seminar 10 about unconscious bias, and was definitely forced to address some of my own biases, which made me uncomfortable but was absolutely necessary, and I've definitely emerged a changed man after the end of it. Although those are the only 2 seminars I'm going to mention, they were all really useful, but these 2 challenged me more than others, and I find myself learning so much about myself across the course of those seminars, which I can take into situations in the future. In terms of my time at uni, it's been long, 5 years, but highly enjoyable, though not always. I spent the first 3 years of my degree based in Perth at the Bentley campus, where I had aspirations of pursuing rowing at an elite level. And I was able to achieve most of my goals in that regard, but it did mean that I sort of put uni on the back burner almost. and didn't form great connections with my peers. I wasn't fully present in classes and didn't really care enough to stick around afterwards and have conversations. To compound the issue, I was jumping around between finance and engineering units, and so I was never really with the same people twice, which made it even more difficult to form friendships. Both of these factors influenced me, and so I didn't really enjoy my time, particularly at Bentley. But this all changed when I moved from Perth to Kalgoorlie, to the School of Mines out here, where I was able to really create these friendships and form really strong connections almost immediately. Living on campus with like-minded people who shared my passion for the mining industry allowed me to create a great network of friends whom I reckon I can rely on for the rest of my career, which is so exciting. Also, since there's not a whole lot of rowing going out in Kalgoorlie, it freed me up with a lot of extra time, and I was able to get involved with clubs and activities, which led to being involved with more people and forming better connections. And I was actually lucky enough to be the international champion of the mining games when we hosted it in Kalgoorlie, as a result of my involvement with the community. So I definitely came to Cal apprehensive and nervous, but I didn't know what to expect. But I definitely feel like I've made the most of my time here, which leads me on nicely to my career plan, because I'll be graduating in a few weeks. I'm fortunate enough to have a job lined up already, and will commence my graduate program soon for a company that I'll be working with. The grad program is going to last 2 years, which will allow me to get my mine manager's ticket and meet the requirements to attain my mine manager's ticket. But I'm not going to jump straight into mine management. That would be ridiculous, and I certainly wouldn't get employed. So I've got to work my way through the management structure and build up to it, increasing my experience and people skills first. Eventually, after a while, I will want to pivot into corporate work and spend some more time with my family, rather than FIFO. So I'll use my finance degree to transition into that corporate management. I've put rough dates on the career plan, but at the end of the day, it's a very dynamic industry, and it isn't a concrete plan with defined dates. The mining industry is cyclic, and will require me to be agile. So, this plan might not work out the way that I wanted to, but it's a rough plan, and I want to stay agile and on my feet if anything changes. If I did have to message my future self, I'd like to say that I dared to take on the challenges that pushed me beyond what I thought I was capable of, to uphold morals and ethics in a leadership role and not compromising to meet production requirements or pressures from above. I'd want to have demonstrated that I'm a strong, decisive leader who listens to his workers and works hard to get the best done for everyone. Finally, and this one's a bit more abstract, but I really want to change the way the world sees mining. I think the mining industry has been vilified, and I really think that I've got the power to change that, to get people, to encourage them to rethink their opinions on mining and to recognise that it's really the most important industry in the world, helping us transition to a green, sustainable future. And I want to be at the front lines of this campaign, driving the change. I know they're pretty vague statements, but my goal is to end up in leadership in mining and to change the world, for a lack of a better term, which is an abstract goal and requires a few abstract recommendations. Overall, I really think I've gained a lot from undertaking this unit. I was certainly very sceptical after the first couple of classes, but the more I got into it, the more I realised that my attitude is going to affect the way I learn, and I lent into it a bit more and found myself getting more and more out of it as each week progressed. I've had some unique experiences and grown immensely as a person. So I can confidently say that I've walked away from this unit and university as a whole as an improved person who is more perceptive, empathetic, and emotionally intelligent. Thank you for listening. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of presentations along the way, so I appreciate the time you've taken to listen to mine. Thank you.